And I know that Carleton has very much so increased your level of financial aid and increased, the diversity on campus. And could you speak about, kind of your financial aid pieces in addition to kind of given the, and I'm sorry for the long question, but given the context of the Supreme Court, how has Carleton, started thinking about diversity in that context?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'll start thinking about financial aid at Carleton.
Mhm.
And we are an institution that meets 100% of every admitted student's financial need, regardless of citizenship. And I think that's really important for
Mhm.
folks to know. Yes.
Mhm.
And so we are working really hard to ensure that our investment in students' education will last all 4 years.
Mhm.
And so that is an essential component, is we are going to meet full financial need all 4 years, regardless of citizenship, for our admitted students.
Yeah.
A piece to that as well is Carleton has some guidelines. One of those helps with socioeconomic diversity, certainly, and in very obvious ways. We seek to enroll 30% of every class as students from the middle income. And this is middle income as defined by federal metrics. And so it's fairly broad, but it also is one that fits a lot of students for whom need-based financial aid feels intimidating, right? Where we still need to pay something towards college, but we don't know what that will be. And Carleton simply has an emphasis on supporting those students who are coming from middle income thresholds throughout the United States. Carleton also seeks to enroll we're seeking 20%. We haven't quite hit that yet. We're about 18% Pell eligible students. Wow. So ensuring that socioeconomic diversity is represented on campus and that our investment in students goes across socioeconomic strata is really important to us. But of course, right, Kane, your question is not just how do you afford Carleton, but it's also how is Carleton committed to students from all kinds of different backgrounds? And Carleton's mission has not changed. So while the SCOTUS decision is saying colleges may need to adjust how they review applications, Carleton as an institution is saying it is part of our mission to be culturally diverse, to have a student body that is representative of the United States and of the world, not of Minnesota, right? And so in our recruitment efforts, we continue to seek out environments and places where we can connect with students who identify as BIPOC, students who identify as low income, queer students, students from rural areas. Diversity is not just phenotype, right? For us, we really are seeking varied experiences and ways that students are going to contribute to this campus broadly and deeply. And so our recruitment efforts continue to push our mission forward. We are going to have to make some small adjustments to our selection process, and we're figuring those out. But again, we are going to push our mission forward with what we do in the admissions office.
No, that's beautiful. So friends, just to kind of maybe decode something, when she said BIPOC, that's Black, Indigenous, people of color or students of color. But also, you spoke about the middle income, right? And so for context as well, students who apply for the middle income, from middle income backgrounds often feel like it's just there's too much being asked of them to pay, right? And so, especially when we're talking about those who might be from rural backgrounds or from, people who own, farmland, for example, that's a huge context. And so while it may seem like you may have a lot of, we know that in some, you can't just like carve up half your farm and sell it, right? Yeah. Like that's how it works. And so, thank you so much for sharing. I think that mission and vision is a beautiful one, because that's something that I think a lot of colleges struggle with when it comes to enrolling their students, especially when they're need blind. Because you cannot capture that middle income, because you cannot look at how much a student's making. You just make those decisions on the basis of just the application. But in itself, financial diversity is so important, right? Because you need to